Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who is watching this video. Uh, my name is Dinashong. I am a young person from Eswatini, a small, tiny kingdom situated in the African continent. So, without any wastage of time, today we are hosting this session just for the sake of introducing our program, introducing our organization to the broad community. So, United Youth for Sustainable Globe. I will just make a brief introduction of this. I'll make a brief introduction of United Youth for Sustainable Globe Eswatini. Can I share my screen? Thank you. Yes. So, United Youth is the one of the global youth transforming organization, which was formed in Nigeria. So, I'll just pick from this part. So, we are a youth and women oriented organization which we are seeking to be a contributing partner in the empowerment of women and the youth. We also want to be a contributing partner in the reduction of GBV, HIV, and gender equality among women and the youth. We also want to be a contributing partner in the promotion of leadership and entrepreneurship among youth and women. So in Eswatini, we have been formed last year October, so we are turning 1 year this month. We would like to thank all the people who are supporting us, the people who never gave up on us while we were busy mobilizing the resources, while we were busy with planting our organization. So I will just go straight to my presentation actually as to why are we are we here. So why actually do we work with young people and the women? Uh, why work with young people and women? Young people has been proven to be less privileged population when it comes to the development socially and economically. It have been proven in reports. It have been proven in in reports in in every documentation that the young people and the women, they are a society that has been frowned upon. They are a society that have been pushed in a corner because of their vulnerability. So we are here, we want to foster the positive behavior among the youth and the women. We want to show that we want to enhance the role youth and women have in the upbringing and taking care of other people, health and sustainability of others. When we enhance the role of youth and women, we want to show the caring role. We want to show the role the youth and the women have to play in the upbringing or taking care of their children, their husband, or their community. So we also want to promote youth and women as change makers and service users. Why promote youth and women as change makers? Youth and women have been denied the access to many infrastructural services. So United Youth for Sustainable Globe is here to promote that youth and women can use services. Youth and women can bring the change we are seeking to bring in our communities. We need youth and women as human rights and gender advocates. We need the youth and the women as human rights activists as gender activists, people who will stand in all odds for other human rights development. So we want to make sure that the youth and the women, they are engaged in the upbringing of the in the respect of human rights, in the respect of the right of each one of us. So United Youth is here to prove young people and the women as the community of people that that uses services, a community of people that can bring the change that we are seeking to bring. So thank you to this organization who are working out there to bring change to the elders, to the men. So we want to bring focus on another perspective, because the organizations that were there in the that they were there in the or then we will also rush to this part whereby we will look based on this policy statement. So United Youth for Sustainable Globe conducted this assessment. We have conducted a assessment on the 25th of November. So on this, what we got that young people, they are denied access. The young people, they are denied access to infrastructural services. So our main aim, it is to bring answers to some of the questions young people are still looking for. We also want to challenge stakeholders into taking action toward a developed youth generation in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We are setting a challenge to government and other institutions working with young people to stand up in solidarity and join the call to action for youth inclusive amid the SDG agenda 2030. We want to set a challenge to government. We want to challenge government and the institutions working with young people and the women. We want them to stand up in solidarity and join to the call to action for youth inclusive and women inclusion in the agenda 2030, meaning through the sustainable development goals placed by the United Nations. So we want the youth and the women to form part of the people who bring the change by 2030. So this policy document, it was documented in line with other policies through consultation with other stakeholders and institutions, so that it's become something that is legal and ready to be used as a tool of serving the youth ahead 2021-2030. So our first implementation phase will run from 2021 to 2025. So we are still we are still in a bit of mobilizing resources. We are still in a bit of we have been able to prepare a program which will run from 2021 to 2026, which is titled Strengthening Adolescents Gender and Health Education in Agro-Based Rural Economy. This will be a program that will be run uh, from next year till 2026. We are looking forward into bringing young people together for change. We are looking into bringing together uh, young people for human development. So we are very much thankful to the people who are supporting us, even though we do not have that too much help that we need. So what is our theory of change? So we are looking forward into youth mobilization. We are going to mobilize the youth together, then form strong partnerships with other organizations. Whilst forming strong partnerships with other organizations, we are looking forward into building our organizational capacity. We want to make sure that we are trained. We want to make sure that we engage people on something that we have knowledge on, because we cannot bring together people then give them false information. We want to build our institutional capacity first before we engage with the young people. So we also looking forward into communication for young people's social change. We want to bring together young people, create platforms whereby young people will be able to voice out their problems, where young people will be able to speak out. We also looking into education amongst young people. We are looking forward into providing educational empowerment in our young people so that they can be able to be enlightened more on what they have to on how they have to live and how they have to attend on issues that affect their lives. So we are also looking forward into enlarging individual capabilities and strength. Whilst educating the young people, we want to enlarge their individual capabilities. What are individual capabilities? When we see that these young people has got this skill, we want to build this skill to the from these young people so that at the later stage this young person can use his or her skill to gain income. So that is another change we are looking to bring. Then we are looking forward into working with government to promote change in policies and practice. Recently, nobody knows the cause of this situation we are in today. Nobody knows what has caused this situation today, but the answer is on is from the young people. What we know, the young people are on the streets, but what's happening actually, nobody knows. So we are looking forward in working with government to promote policy change and practice. We want to make sure that every policy that is placed is reviewed before it is placed into implementation because we will not be in this stage if we were called for reviewing this document. So, thank you. Then we have our community approaches, a strategy on how we gonna reach these communities. First of all, we are looking forward into conducting conducting research and studies. We want to make sure that before we embark in field engagement, we first conduct research and studies so that we get the feasibility or we get the real statistics as to who we gonna service and how we gonna service them. Are they really do they really love this project or not? So that would be the purpose of the research. We are also looking forward into conducting mass meetings. When speaking of mass meetings, we are speaking of dialogues and sessions whereby we will mobilize the community together. Then we facilitate based on the topic we are gonna be looking at that point in time. We also looking forward into conducting marches and demonstrations. March and demonstration we're gonna whenever there's a situation we are facing, we'll make sure that we demonstrate, we march, so that we bring the change we want to see. We also gonna do parades and processions, which also links to the march and demonstrations. These the advocacy campaigns. How then are we gonna do all this? We're gonna work with on advocacy campaigns. We're gonna raise awareness from the people around our reach and beyond our reach. We want to make sure that this advocacy movement reaches the international and the local community. Wow, this will be done through and networking with other local and international NGOs. This will be through building strong collaborations with international and local NGOs. So we are looking forward into working with many organizations on this program because it touches mainly on important issues. We're gonna lobby with other youth and women organizations so that we make sure that our message reaches and then communicates the message clearly to them. Another We're gonna engage in lobbying. We're gonna engage in lobbying for with other youth and women organizations. We're gonna advocate for funds, support from partners, CSOs, CPOs, donors, and funders. We're gonna sell our ideas to make them understand the problem, making sure that they reach our 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 cause. We will make sure that we 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 communicate this a message clearly to our partners, to our sponsors, to our donors, to our funders, so that they may see what exactly needs to be done and what exactly does not need to be done. Next. So we also gonna be working on media. We're gonna engage in media platforms. We're gonna be on social media. We're gonna be on live media, meaning using the media, the radios, the TV, the, the the social media's platform. We're gonna use that platform for sending this message to the young people, because nowadays COVID-19 has locked us in a corner. We cannot meet. So we're gonna be using these platforms to reach out to the young people. As for this matter, our voices matter, which means we these young people, they are looking for a way of speaking out, but they do not have a way of speaking out. Then we're gonna be their voice. We're gonna use the media platform to bring the young people's voice to action. So when you're speaking of media platform, we're gonna use the YouTube platforms, the Facebook platforms. There are many platforms whereby we can send message to these young people, because many of our young people, even though this normal is new, but many of our young people, they are connected to it through the internet. So the best way to win this, it is through engaging with them through the internet. So we're gonna be also reaching out through all the various media platforms, passing this message to the young people. Mobilization. We are going to be mobilizing the targeted audience. We are working with the youth and the women. We are going to be mobilizing the youth and the women for social change. We're gonna call them together, send the message to them, make sure that it reaches to them clearly, make sure that they take action on that note, make sure they take action to that particular message you have sent, so that we do not find ourselves working on one and the same thing sequentially, meaning year after year, because we are working for change. We cannot be changing one and the same thing one and again. So we want to work straight, mobilize the young people, call them together, send the message to them, make sure it reaches to them, make sure they understand the message clearly, make sure you provide the material to the young people, so that they see clearly what the meeting is all about. So we're gonna be mobilizing the youth. We thank God that the lockdown has been eased. We're gonna be meeting with the young people, sharing our ideas together, sharing our visions together, so that we can bring the change we are looking for. The, the statistical definition, what exactly has driven us to to engage in this program? One one out of five young people worldwide are in parliament, which means from the 70%, only 30% are included in leadership. So there is a long journey to go in leadership with young people. Young people has been denied the leadership skill, the leadership positions in communities, in workspaces, and in churches. Young people have been denied the leadership role. Why? Because they have the mandate. They have the mandate of young people. They do not have the leadership charisma. Who said so? So we want to remove the we want to remove the culture of young people are not leaders. We want to unveil young people as leaders. We want to showcase the talents young people have in leading. Number two, One out of 10 young people suffers mental health and faces psychological harm, which means from the 100% of the young people worldwide, which means uh, at least 75% of this population, they suffer mental health and faces psychological harm. Why? Young people, they are depressed. Young people, they are facing depression because of one factor that contributes to this problem. It's because of unemployment. Unemployment has caused young people to suffer this mental health, because I am thinking on how I am going to make money because of because I have to cater for my basic needs, because I have to cater for because I have to cater for other needs at home. So you find out that I am thinking one and the same thing, one and again, so we have to find a way we can bring we can bring psychosocial services to the young people so that they can be relieved from this mental illness. We have to make sure that the young people are relieved from mental illness. Number three, 1 out of 5 young girls are a subject of violence, either sexual or physical, which means 48% of women in our country are living under violence. It can be either sexual or physical. Globally, 1:3 women faces violence at home, workplace, etc. Which means from the 100%, 85, 85 or just 70% of young girls, they face violence. They are subject of sexual abuse. They are subject of physical abuse. So 48% of women in our country, they live under violence. Can it be sexual or physical? But they live under those situations. Globally, close to 70% of the women faces violence at home and the workplace. Why? The services or the there is no education based on gender-based violence. So we want to make sure that we bring these services close to the people who need them the most. It cannot be in a country whereby approximately 50% of the women in the country, they are facing violence. So we want to make sure that it do not happen in the next 10 years. We want to make sure that women in our country, they gain their dignity back. The women in our country, they are given the opportunities in leadership. They are given the opportunities in parliament. They are given the opportunity in churches. In It happens in churches. In churches, you find that women, they are not given the pastoral position. Why? They have the belief that women, they do not have the leadership role. So that is why there will be too much violence on the women's side, because they have been proven as a vulnerable population. They are depending on some other people for their living. So we want to make sure that the women and the girls, they are no longer a subject of violence, but they are by they are champions. Yeah, they are champions of GBV. They want to make sure that they survive in a place that will be conducive, and in a place that it will accommodate themselves. 193,771 of the 400 young Swazis are still living with HIV, which means approximately 200,000, half of these 400,000 young Swazis are still living with HIV. We want to make sure that the remaining 200,000 young people, they do not add to this 193,000 people. How then are we gonna do that? We will make sure we provide adequate HIV health education. We make sure we provide a HIV test and HIV test and cure and treatment. All those things we want to make sure that we avail it to the young people so that they use these services proficiently for the sake of their development. We want to make sure that these services they are used in a way that the young Swazis change. 8,000 young girls have to drop out of school due to early pregnancies. This is a matter that is really, really affecting our education in the country. So we want to make sure that this number does not enlarge but decreases, because we cannot be taking out students to school, but the students in school they drop out because of pregnancy. Why? Because the young girls they are vulnerable. They engage in sexual activities at an early stage. Why? Eh, most of these girls you find they drop out of school due to early pregnancies. Most of them they are from the rural areas. Why rural areas? They are vulnerable. They are contractors or companies that go to the rural areas to conduct projects there, to implement projects there. Taking for instance the contractors, let me make an example for a road contractor company. They will go there, they will rent houses there. They will not come with their wives, but they will come alone. So they will make sure that they put our young girls in a state of vulnerability. They will be You will find that the young girls they engage in sexual relationship with with these old men, because they are forcing them, because they know that they will give them money. Yeah, they are forcing them to engage with them in sex because they know that they will get money. We want to make sure that this shall come to an end. There will be no young girl who will be dropping out of school due to early pregnancy. We want to make sure that the young girl they get access to the health commodities, to the contraceptions, because it cannot be 8,000 if the young girl they have access to the contraceptions. We will make sure that we reach the communities, avail to them the services that they need. We make sure that we bring to them closely the contraceptions, we bring them closely the family planning sessions. By so doing, we'll make sure that the 8,000 we see here, it will then decrease. Approximately 65% of the youth in Eswatini is unemployed, making half of the youth population to be at home. Nobody knows the situation we are in today. Nobody ever predicted of it, even. But what we know it is that the young people they want change. Then how we gonna bring the change? Change can be through inclusion. The young people they must be included in the policies making, in the decision making processes, because we cannot be a country if 65% of the youth population, which means the 65% youth consists of graduated students from universities. They are unemployed. It consists of Form 5 students who finished school. They are unemployed. So it cannot be a country if uh, the statistics are high like this. We need to make sure that we bring job opportunities to the young people. We create job opportunities for the young people. So United Youth for Sustainable Club will not create job opportunities, but United Youth for Sustainable Club will open the mind of the young people. Uh, we will make sure that we engage in strategic implementation of uh, agribusinesses project, and also help the young sources to start income generating projects. will not we are not in a state of giving out capital because we are still in a startup phase. But we have the expertise. We make sure that we engage with the young people, help them draft business plans, help them with forming of the plans, give them the way, open them their mind so that the 65% decreases. Because if this can happen in the next 5 years, the 65% will not be 65, but it will be 100, because it is not these statistics were formed, I think, 2 years back. So we need to make sure that by 2026, these statistics are lessened. So we as United Youth, we are going to join our hands. We are going to assist the government. We are going to assist the young people to gain their dignity back. We are going to help assist the young people start income generating projects which will help them sustain their lives. The truth here is the evidence. Evidence is what we are experiencing now. If we can ask ourselves as to why is this happening, who are the people in the forefront, where is the problem? So you may find that our country is facing unrest and we are on a standstill, and the problem is young people need change, and the change is here, but their voices are placed in silence rooms. We have discovered whilst in the field that the young people need inclusive dialogue. They want to be included in the decision and in policy making processes. Who can tell when did they started voicing this matter? Up until now, that they started feeling the streets. The fact is, young people want change, and the change, look what is happening in the field. There is no way to get the young people to buy our story, but through the ideas we have as other young people, I think we can use that ideas. We can use them to get entertained by our program. The programming from 2000 have been discriminatory. The programming recently, it was discriminatory. The program that were created for the youth, the program that were created for the youth, but only to find that this program are not really made for those people. They are for certain issues. Taking for instance, there are policies that are servicing the youth, but only to find that these policies, they do not work for the youth, but they oppress the youth. So we want to make sure that the policy that they are servicing the youth, we need to review or else start them from scratch. Consult other bodies, because when you are forming a policy, you have to consult with other people, consult with other bodies in order to form something that would be conducive, something that would be able to operate in any way. So the programs from the late stages, the program they were sanctioned for a certain population, for a certain group, from elders, the HIV positive, the children. That were the three people who were cared for: the elders, the HIV positive people, and the children. So what about the youth? Who then is going to service the youth? So we are looking into closing the gap. We are looking forward into bringing the young people together. We are looking into closing the unclosed gap. We are looking forward. Eh, thank you. The fact we want change in the policies that were put in place for serving the youth. We want reviews of that policies so that we can help keep this issue we're facing today. No one knows the exact issue or the exact cause, but what we know is that the youth need change. And it has been proven that if we can include the youth in this process, nothing will go wrong. Young people are dominant of the world's population. So it means they form part of the stakeholders to be engaged in governance. Young people, they form part of the community. They form part of the stakeholders. They form part of the people that use services. So there is no way we can put them in a corner. We have to put them in a mountain that everyone can see them. These young people, they have got mind, they've got expertise. Why then do we close them in a corner? We have to showcase the young people. They've got talent. It has been proven that the young people can put us in a state whereby Eswatini can develop, because young people are here. They have the mind, the brain, and the expertise in a way that if they can be given the opportunity, they can excel. So United Youth is here to prove, is here to unveil, is here to showcase the young people as change makers, as service users, as the people who will help Eswatini reach 2030 in a developed manner, in a peaceful and sustainable manner. My voice, my future. This is these are young people. They do not have a voice. They are using what they have to bring their voice to action. Here are some of the cases that we face in the field. Case one, situation. So to properly implement the advocacy program, we need full participation of both stakeholders, which means one hand with the other. We are looking for support from other local and international organizations. If you are here and you are willing to work with us, we are here. We are here to to work with you. We are open-handed, because as the slogan say, one hand build the other. We cannot help the young people on our own. But if we can work together as a team, if we can work together as a family, we can reach the goals we want to reach. Next, the situation number two. It is crucial to make sure that the end result of the advocacy program is not assumed in advance of proper tabulation being conducted. This ensures that results are conclusive and confirmed by all partners, which means don't count your chickens until they are hatched. What happened? We have rushed to the end results without looking for a way of dealing with the problem, or finding a solution of dealing with the problem. We have rushed to the end result. So, but what I can say here, we shall never rush to end results without reaching even one beneficiary. Expect less from us now, hence we are new, but count more because we are joining in the solidarity. Do not rush to count what will be end result of our engagement, because once you rush to the end result, then the whole program will be nothing, because you will rush to reach three people, then you say you have worked. No, do not count your chickens until they are hatched. Situation number three, young people are distancing themselves from development processes, which means young people are not participating. Why are young people not participating? Who have proven this? My short here will be never judge by what you hear by people. Make sure you get yourself closer to the people who need help. Dedicate most of your time with them. Then find a way of communicating or dealing with this issue. It is very rare with us. We have to we have to uh, we have to we have run to say young people are distancing themselves from development. You never wanted to know what causes that. It is the untied head aid. the help or the opportunities are centered, the services are discriminating. When we are speaking of untied aid, we mean the help is centered. Why don't we give the young people the help or the support they are looking for without judging them? Because what happened? We have rushed to judge the young people. We have rushed to a state of discriminating the young people against who they are. So we mustn't rise to that matter without consulting with other people. No government funding. Government does not associate themselves with youth movement. This is a big issue. This is a big issue for all of us young people. Youth organization and other movement, what's happening? We have the mind, expertise, and energy, but we are denied access. Why do I have to register before I get help? Yes, it's true for legal processes. It is good. It is a good thing. But let's look for the situation you are here now. We are here now, and we are dedicated. We are in the process of registering. We have the other legal documentation. Why don't we? Why don't you give the help to the other young people? Then, when he or she is done with that, then he or she can deliver the registration, the certificate of registration to you, without even saying register before we help. There is nothing wrong